Have you ever wondered if the AI you use every day is secretly judging you? It sounds like science fiction, but it's a real-world problem called AI bias. If you've ever gotten a weird recommendation or a strange search result, you might have already seen it in action. So, what exactly is it, and why should you care? Stick around, because we're about to demystify one of the biggest challenges in the world of artificial intelligence. And hey, before we dive in, do me a quick favor and hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss an update from us. All right, let's get into it. At its core, AI bias happens when an artificial intelligence system produces results that are systematically prejudiced. These aren't random errors, they're skewed outcomes that unfairly favor or disadvantage certain groups of people. But how does this even happen? Isn't AI supposed to be objective and logical, free from human emotions and prejudices? Well, that's the paradox. AI learns from the data we give it. If the data itself is biased, the AI will learn and amplify those biases. Think of it like teaching a child. If you only show a child pictures of apples and tell them all fruit is red and round, they'll be very confused when they see a banana for the first time. The child isn't at fault. Their training data was incomplete and skewed. AI works in a similar way. It learns patterns from massive datasets, but these datasets are created by humans and reflect the world as it is, warts and all. This includes our historical inequalities, societal prejudices, and unconscious biases. Let's look at a few real-world examples to make this clearer. A few years ago, a major tech company developed a hiring tool that was supposed to automatically screen resumes. The goal was to find the best candidates efficiently. But they soon discovered a huge problem. The system was penalizing resumes that included the word women's. Like women's chess club captain, it also downgraded graduates from 2 all-women's colleges. Why? Because the AI was trained on the company's hiring data from the past 10 years, a period when most of the successful applicants were men. The AI learned that mal-associated traits were indicators of success, and, as a result, discriminated against female candidates. Another famous example is in facial recognition technology. Studies have repeatedly shown that some of the most widely used facial recognition systems are far more accurate at identifying white men than they are at identifying women of color. The error rates for darker-skinned women have been alarmingly high. Again, this comes down to the training data. If the dataset used to train the AI is overwhelmingly made up of faces of white men, the system becomes an expert at recognizing them but struggles with anyone who looks different. This isn't just an inconvenience, it can have serious consequences in areas like law enforcement, where misidentification could lead to a false arrest. So, the data is a huge part of the problem. This is often called data bias. It can happen because the data we collect is not representative of the real world. That's called sampling bias. Or, it can happen because the data reflects existing societal prejudices known as historical bias. For instance, if you train an AI on historical loan application data, it might learn to associate certain zip codes or demographics with a higher risk of default. Not because those people are inherently riskier, but because they have historically faced systemic economic disadvantages. The AI doesn't understand the context. It just sees a pattern and repeats it. But biased data isn't the only culprit. The way humans design the AI models can also introduce bias. This is called algorithmic bias. The choices developers make, what features to prioritize, what variables to ignore, how to define success for the AI, all have a profound impact. If a developer designs an algorithm for a social media feed to maximize engagement, the AI might learn that controversial or extreme content gets the most clicks and shares. It then starts promoting that content, potentially creating echo chambers and polarizing users. Not because it's malicious, but because it's simply doing what it was programmed to do: maximize engagement. The consequences of AI bias are far-reaching. We're talking about real people being denied jobs, loans, housing, and even fair medical care. An AI system designed to predict health risks might be less accurate for minority groups if its training data predominantly comes from one demographic. This could lead to people not getting the preventative care they need. The danger is that we often put a lot of faith in technology, assuming it's impartial. When we use biased AI to make important decisions, we're not just making a mistake, we're automating and scaling up discrimination at an unprecedented speed. So, what's the solution? It's a complex problem, and there's no single magic fix. But researchers and developers are working on it. One key area is improving the data. This means actively working to create diverse and representative datasets. It involves carefully auditing data for existing biases and finding ways to clean it up before it ever reaches the AI. Another approach is to develop fairness-aware algorithms. These are models designed to check their own work for biased outcomes and adjust themselves to be more equitable. Transparency is also crucial. We need to be able to look inside the black box of AI to understand how it's making its decisions. This is known as explainable AI, or XAI. Ultimately, tackling AI bias requires a multidisciplinary approach. It's not just a job for computer scientists. We need sociologists, ethicists, and policymakers to work together to create standards and regulations. And as users, we need to be aware that AI is not infallible. We should question its outputs, demand accountability from the companies that build it, and advocate for technology that serves everyone fairly. AI has the potential to do incredible good in the world, but if we're not careful, it can also entrench and amplify our worst human flaws. Understanding AI bias is the first step toward building a more equitable and just technological future. Wow, that was a lot to cover, but it's such an important topic. What are your thoughts on AI bias? Have you ever noticed it in an app or service you use? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your experiences. And if you found this video helpful and want to learn more about the fascinating world of AI, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.